just remember that these are the just Java versions. And let's see here, right here we have the nickname, right? So based on the performance, so industry has given names to the versions. Suppose here see, so Java 1.0 and 1.1, they gave name as the tortoise. So based on the performance, the industry has given these names to the Java versions. Okay, you can see here, then dog, horse, tiger, Ford icon, then dolphin. So 1.8 has released, let's industry has to test and how the performance and everything. So based on that, the industry will give any name. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So Java is available in 3 flavors. So that is, one is called the Java HE, and another one is called as the Java EE, and the third one called the Java ME, or else J2SE, J2EE, J2ME I can call. Okay. So J2SE stands for Java 2 Standard Edition. Okay. So what we can do with this software? So we can develop only desktop applications. In the sense, I can develop an application that I can't share with anyone. Only I can see that result of that program or that application. That's called the standard alone applications. Clear?
Okay.
So just assume that, like, we used to install softwares in our machine, right? So that we can't share with anyone, right? So those type of applications we can say as the standard alone applications, like the result which we can't share with any other people, right? So see here I have Eclipse, right? So I'm using this application. This is a standard alone application, right? These results I can't show to anyone. So you are seeing through the screen sharing, but no one can see the result, right? When I run the program or if I do anything. So this is called the standard alone application. These type of applications I can develop by using the J2SE. So let's move to the J2EE. What we can do with the J2EE? J2EE stands for Java 2 Enterprise Edition. Okay. So by using this, I can develop web applications. I can say server-side applications. So what is a web application? You can ask me, right? So I'm saying that by using J2EE, I can develop a web application. So what does it mean? Just take any application like Gmail we are accessing, and we are accessing Facebook and everything. So those all sites which we are able to access comes under the web applications, right? Because they have done some application and they have uploaded on the server. As a client, we are able to access, right? Clear? That's called the web application, which resides in the server and whose results can be shareable across the globe through the browser. That is called a web application.
Okay.
So by using J2EE, I can develop a web application and whose result I can share with any client. That's about. So if you want to develop any web application, in that case I should need the J2EE software. Okay. And third one is the J2ME. We call as the micro edition, Java 2 micro edition. So that software we used to develop wireless applications. I can say mobile applications. I can develop by using this software. Okay, clear?
Okay.
Yeah. Let's move. Suppose if I want to work with the Java, what are the softwares I need and how to install? Let's see. Suppose I'm using operating system as the Windows 7. So I need to download Java version which will support to the Windows 7 operating system. Okay, mine is 64-bit. So based on the version and bit, I have to download it. So in my case, I have downloaded the JDK 7 version. So from the Oracle website, we can download that. Okay, I have downloaded. So why Oracle? You can ask me, right? So last year, what Sun Microsystem totally hand over all of their softwares to the Oracle. Okay. So now everything, if you want to download anything, you should download from the Oracle itself. So I have downloaded software in my machine. So then double click on that, just go next, then software will be installed. So in my case, I have installed in the C drive and the location is the program files and the folder is the Java. So here but Java has installed. So when we install Java, we'll get two folders. One is the JDK and second one is the JRE. What does it mean? What is JDK and what is JRE? Let's speak. JDK stands for Java Development Kit. Okay. And JRE stands for Java Runtime Environment. Clear? So what it contains? So JDK contains set of tools to compile the Java program. Okay. Suppose if I want to write any Java program and if you want to do the compilation, then I need a JDK. So JDK provides set of tools to compile the Java program. But in case of JRE, JRE stands for Java Runtime Environment. So after compiling, I need to run the program, right? I mean, I need to see the result. So to execute the program, I need JRE. Okay. You'll get to know once you write a sample program, you'll understand that what is JDK is really doing and what JRE is really doing. But as of now, just remember that JDK we use at compile time to compile the program, and JRE we use to execute the program. I can say to see the result. Fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's move. You know why Java becomes so famous? Can you say any reason?
Is it because it's like universal on other operating systems?
Yes, you are correct. So that is called the platform independence. Java provides platform independence. What does it mean? Let's see. Let's take a simple C program. I think, do you know about C? Just let me explain. Suppose if I write any C program on my machine, what will happen? Let's see. So I have written a C program and I saved it as a C or else CPP. I mean C++ program also I can test.cpp. So I have written a program, C program on my machine and I have compiled. So C compiler, what it will do is it will give me test.exe file after compiling the program. Okay, these are all things I am doing on the Windows. Just assume that. So I am writing a C program on Windows machine. Okay, I have compiled it. I got the text.exe file. So what this file contains? So this file contains the instructions, set of instructions, which can understandable by the Windows operating system. So then it gives the result. Clear? So when I write any C program, then C compiler will generate a .exe file which contains a set of instructions. I can say assembly language. So assembly language in the sense which can understandable by the Windows any operating system. So here, according to the my operating system, the C compiler will generate a exe file. Suppose this test.exe file, if I give to you, if I try to run on your machine, suppose you are using some other operating system. In your case, I can say Linux. So using Linux operating system. So if I give this .exe file, so if you run it, you will not get the result because the instructions which are understandable by the Windows operating system may not understandable by the Linux machine. Right. So I said test.exe file here contains the set of instructions which can understandable by the Windows operating system because that C compiler are generated according to the operating system. So here if I give this test.exe to you, this will not run or you will get wrong result because these instructions may not understandable by your operating system. So this is called the platform dependency. Clear? So C and CPP both are comes under the platform dependence. Let's see, I have a diagram. I'll explain you. See here, platform dependency. What does it mean? See here, if I write on Windows machine C or CP program, so if I give to a Linux machine user, if you try to run that file, you will not get the same result because the instructions understandable by the Windows operating system and different from the Linux machine. So because of that, C and CPP or C++ programs are the platform dependence programs. Okay. Let's move to the platform independence. So what does it mean? We are saying that Java is a platform independence. So how Java people achieve that? Okay. So as just I said, JRE I said, right? JRE, why we use JRE? To run any Java program. So inside JRE we have a program called JVM. JVM stands for Java Virtual Machine. Okay, let's see what it will do. Suppose same thing. So in case of Java, I'm speaking how they have achieved platform independence. See, so I'm using Windows operating system. So I've written one Java program saved as the test.java. So what Java compiler will do? It will give me test.class file here. So in case of C or C++, they will give the .exe file, but in case of Java, it will give the .class file. We'll see what .class file contains and everything. Okay, let's see. So in my Windows operating system, I have written test.java file, and here I'll write Java compiler. So what Java compiler will do, it will compile the program and it will check is there any errors or not. If there is no errors, it serves test.exe, test.class file, right? So if I take then if I run this test.class file, I will get some result, right? So but who will run this test.class file? JVM, right? On my machine I have JVM, right? When I install Java software. One second. Yeah, when I install Java on my machine, I'll get the JVM, right? So what this JVM will do is, it will convert this .class file to the assembly language, I can say, right? Set of instructions which can understandable by the Windows operating system. So this JVM will do the conversion. Clear? Okay, when I write any program in Java, I'll get the test.class file. Then JVM will come into the picture. What it will do is JVM will read all the code inside the test.class file and it will convert this data into the assembly language which can understandable by the Windows operating system. Suppose if I give this test.class file to you, what you will do is, if I give to you, you are using Linux, just assume that. So using Linux operating system, if I give test.class file to you, so in your machine also you would have the JVM, right? When you install the software, Java software, you will also get the JVM. So in your machine you would have the JVM, right? So what that JVM will again do is, so it will look into the test.class file and it will also look your operating system, and based on your operating system it will do the conversion. So here everything is taken care by the JVM. So what JVM duty is, it will read the .class file and based on your operating system it will do the conversion. So I can say, so we can call it as Java is the Aura. I mean, write once, run anywhere. So if I write any Java program on any operating system, and that I can run anywhere in the world, any operating system, any other servers, wherever I can run that Java program. That's called the platform independence. Clear?
Okay.
Let me show you one diagram, then you will understand it fine. See this diagram, you're able to see, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just see here, I have a Java program, right? See here, I am using Windows operating system, I have a Java program. So here x.class, I mean, this is the x.java file, just a second. Yeah, here I think you're unable to see, x.java is the Java class, and when I compile that Java program, we'll get the .class file. So Windows operating system, I have the JVM. So what the JVM will do is, it will look into the .class file and then it will convert to the assembly language which can understandable by the Windows. So if I give this x.class file to you and you're using Linux, so what it will do is on your machine you will be have the JVM, right? So what it will do is it will look into the .class file and it will do the conversion to the Linux machine. So here JVM came into the picture and which can do all the things for us, right? So because of JVM we are able to achieve the platform independence. Write once, run anywhere. Clear?
Yeah.
So Java program is a platform independent, right? But JVM is a platform dependent. See, Java program is platform independent. I can write once and run anywhere. But JVM is a platform dependent. What does it mean? Suppose if I'm using Windows operating system, I should download Java software which is supporting Windows operating system. In your case, suppose if you're using Linux, so based on your operating system, you should download the Java version, right? I told you in the starting of the class. So I'm using Windows 7, so that's why I've downloaded this Java software which is supporting by the Windows. So in your case, you should download based on your operating system. You should download the Java version from their site. Okay, clear this. Java software is a platform dependent. Based on the operating system, we should download. But Java program is a platform independent. If I write once and I can run that program on any machine. That's what. Very simple. Nothing is. Okay, let's see. I'll show you practical on this. You'll understand more. Just see here. Just forget about what our code I have written in this. So I have written a simple Java program. So what it will do is it will say hello Java world. That's it. Okay. So what I did, I have saved this file as the test.java. Clear? Let me show you that what will happen. So see here what I'm going to do. I'm opening command prompt. And just a second. Yeah. So now I have a test.java file, right? So next thing what I have to do, I have to compile the program, right? So how to compile it? I told you JDK provides set of tools to compile the program, right? The tool is called Java C. Java C stands for Java compiler. Then I'm writing test.java. So Java C is the command to compile the Java program and test.java is the my file, right? Let me show you where this Java C is present. So I have installed Java, right, on my machine. So I told you JDK gives us set of tools to compile the Java program. So if I go to JDK, you will find the bin folder. See bin folder. So if I go inside the bin folder, there you can see Java C. See Java C. It is a tool to compile. This is, I can say this is a command to compile the Java program. So see here, I'm saying Java C, then test.java. What will happen when I write this statement? Compiler will get invoked and it will read this test.java file and it will check for the errors. Is there any errors or not? If there is no errors, it will generate a class file. Let me show you this. So I'm going to workspace again. See here, now you are able to see one class file, right? Test.class file. Are you able to see?
Yeah.
So I told you, right? So what Java compiler will do, it will read the test any Java file and will convert into the class file, .class file. So who will read this .class file? JVM, right? JVM will read this .class file and based on my operating system, it will do the conversion. Clear? So for this, I need to invoke the JVM, right? I need to call the JVM. So I need to say to JVM that please look into this class file and give me the output. For that, I need to use a command called Java. Okay, when I call Java, JVM will get invoked and I'm giving test. So test is enough. We no need to give test.class or test.java. Test is enough. So when I say this, JVM will get into the picture and it will look into the test.class file and it will give the results. Let's see. See, I'm getting output as the hello Java world, right? That's what, right? I have written in the program. I told you. So we'll get the output as the hello Java world. See here, you're able to see, right?
Yeah.
So if I give this test.class file to you, suppose this file, test.class file, if I give to you, so if you run that again with the Java space test, you will also get the same output, because on your machine also you would be have the JVM, right? So what that JVM will do again, it will go to the test.class file and it will check each and every line, and based on your operating system it will do the conversion. That's what JVM duty is. So who will read that .class file is the JVM. That's it. Clear about the platform independence? Clear, right? Any doubts in this till now? Let's move. We'll write small programs and other stuff. Just basic knowledge. What is platform independence really? How we are achieving in Java? That. Good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all about things. See here, I'm writing manually here, right? You know, Java, C, Java. We don't need to do all those things. Just for knowledge sake, I said. We are generally we have IDEs. So what does IDE? IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. So by using IDEs, we can write programs very easily. Okay, we can create a project very easily. All the things you will get to know one by one, but we don't need to write any commands. So in case I'm using Eclipse in my machine, so you can also download from Eclipse website, and which can support Java. Okay, so I have downloaded this Eclipse. Just open it. You will see something like this. So I'll show you how to create a project. First, I want to create a Java project. So in that case, go to File, New. Then see here Java project. So you give any name. Okay, here I'll give test app. My project name as. Okay, so already there. So I'm giving test app 2. See here, my Eclipse is using which version of Java? JRE 7, right? So Java 7 version is using. Okay, next, and then finish. So when I do this all the things, you will get something like this structure. This is my project. So here you will see some files. So we'll speak about what these all files later, but you will get this project. So if you want to create any class, how do we create? Simply go to source, right click over there, again go to new, and again go to class. So what is a class? Everything will speak one by one. So this is the way to create a class. So I'm creating class as the person. Okay, what is person and what I'm doing, everything I'll explain you. Just a second. Yeah, let's move to the other part of the Java. So and the next thing is we used to call out the Java is the object-oriented programming language. Do you know about this? Did you heard any time?
A little bit, I think so.
Yeah, Java is an object-oriented programming language we call. What does it mean? So if any language, there are principles. OOPS principles we call. I mean object-oriented principles. So if any language satisfies this OOPS principles, then we call that language as the object-oriented programming language. Java, C, sorry not C, CPP or .NET. So these all are object-oriented programming language, but CPP or C++ is not the pure object-oriented programming language. I can eliminate this. So Java and .NET that comes under the object-oriented programming languages. Even PHP also sometimes. Okay, so let's speak about what are those principles. So the object-oriented principles are, one is class, one is the one by one we'll speak in our class. Okay, first one is the class, and next one is the object, and third one is the abstraction, and fourth one is the inheritance and polymorphism. We'll speak one by one, don't worry. Polymorphism, and last one is the encapsulation. So we'll get to know one by one. So these are the OOPS principles. If any language satisfies all these principles, then we can call that language as the object-oriented programming language. So let's see one by one what is an object and what is a class. So in Java, everything is class and object. That's it. Everything, whatever you do, if you want to write any application, whether simple application like standard alone application or a web application or a mobile application, whatever it may be, everything you should speak about class. You should speak about object. So what these two are. So class is something like a blueprint. I can say that So just example, a real-time example, I can give you one. So suppose when we want to build any house, what we will do? Generally, we used to prepare a blueprint, right? Like in the chat, we used to design our house, how it would be, where the windows would be, where the door would be, and everything. We'll prepare a blueprint. Then based on the blueprint, we will build a house, right? Just in blueprint, just we used to imagine everything, and based on the blueprint we'll build in a house. So when I speak about house, there is a physical representation, right? When I say blueprint, there is no physical representation, just logical. Just I'm saying, just assuming that my window would be there and everything. Just I'm drawing, but really house is not there. So until unless I build the house. So house is existing physically, whereas the blueprint is about the logical thing. So same as if I say this blueprint is nothing but a class. I'll explain clearly why I'm saying all this. And house is nothing but an object. So class is something which doesn't have memory, right? So when I create an object for a class, then only class will get the memory. I'll explain with everything. Suppose I have created a class, and when I create an object, what will happen? I'll show you. Okay, let me create a simple class on Eclipse. So simple. Just again right click over here, new. Go to other. Sorry, I'll remove this. Okay, click on SRC, new class. So I'm going to create a class. What will happen? Let me explain. So I'm creating my class name is a person. Right, I'm saying a person, and finish. So I created a class. So this is the syntax to create a class. You no need to worry, and we'll speak one by one. Public class person, and this is a simple class. So in this class, I'm going to take few variables, and what are those, and what is a variable, and everything we'll discuss one by one. But just assume that I'm speaking about what is a class really, and what will happen when I create an object for a class. So I'm speaking about that. So see here, I'm writing public int age. So this is called the variable declaration. So every person have a age, right? So for that I'm declaring a variable. Okay. Then I'm saying that public string. What is string? What is int? We will speak, but just understand the concept. So I'm saying name. Every person has a name, right? So then public string. Sorry, I'll take int height. Okay, I have taken a class name is the person. In the person class, I have declared 3 variables. Clear? I'll create one more class. So see here what I'm going to do in that. I'm writing new, one more class I'm creating. I'm writing person main. So what is the main class will speak. So but here I'm selecting public static void main. What is this will speak? Just a second. So I've created a one more class. What this is a person main. So in this have a method called the public static void main. So if you want to run any standard alone Java program, ultimately I need to have this method. Then only I can run that program. Okay, why this and why this should be something like this we will speak. Okay. Yeah. So I've created a class. So when I create this class, there is no memory has created for this person class. Just it's a blueprint. That's it. Until unless if I create an object for this class, then only these 3 variables get memory. So now I have age, name, and height. These variables don't have any memory, and Java will not store these variables into the memory. Okay, but when I create an object to the person class, these all variables get memory. How will I'll show you. But how to create an object? Let's speak. The way of creating an object is something like this. Person and give any variable. I'm giving p is equal. So to create an object in Java, we need to use new operator. New. Okay. Then again write person and open close this. So what this is will speak. Okay, this is called the constructor. So what it is we'll speak. So simply I'm saying person, this is my class name, and this is any variable p is equal to new. New we use to create object. So I'm creating an object for person class, and again here write the class with the open and close braces and semicolon. So when I say this statement, the object will be created. Okay. So if I run this program, what will happen is these three variables will have the memory. So what values? Let's see. I'll explain you. So inside the JVM, there are two things. One is the stack and one is the heap. Okay, this is called the stack. So where it will store, I'm explaining you where the variables will be stored. So I'm saying here heap, and all local variables. We'll speak what is a local variable. Just a second. Here I'm writing p, and inside heap I'm creating that object. Yeah. So the thing would be when I say this statement, what will happen? I'm saying. So when I say this line, object will be created inside the heap. So this is called the heap. So these are things available in the JVM. So object will be created. This is the object. Let me show you clearly. So this is the object. Okay. Just a second. I'll write clearly. This is object. So which I have created. So every object has some address. Okay. So when I say new person, object will be created inside the heap. So but this is I'm pointing to the p, right? So p is called a local variable. What is local variable? We'll speak. Here p is pointing towards this object, right? So in this case, what will happen is, so this p, it's a local variable. Local variable will stored in the p, in the stack, and objects will be stored inside the heap. So this p will be pointing towards the object. Understand clearly? So when I say this statement, what will happen is right side part comes under the object creation. When I say new, object will be created. Where it will be created? Inside the heap with some values. Okay, what the values will speak. But left side part I'm saying this is a local variable which is pointing to the object, right? So that local variable will store in this inside the stack and which will point to the object, right? So in this object we have some memory. Right, what that memory and what are the variables we will speak. So let me show you. So in this object, what are the variables I have? One is the int age, and then another one is the string name, and third one is the int height. So I didn't give any values to them, right? So here I didn't give any values, just I declared. So by default, they will have some memory. So int by default gives 0. String by default gives null, and again hint will by default gives 0. So these all will be stored. So when I say this statement, so object will be created inside the heap, and this local variable created inside the stack, and this local variable pointing towards the object. And what this object contains? This object contains the base information. So I didn't give any age, any name, any height, right? So by default, it will take some default values, something like this. So default value of integer is, int means integer will speak, is 0. The default value of string is the null, and again default value of int is 0. So let me show you. So if we want to print anything in the here, we generally write system.out.println. That also will speak why it should be something like this. Suppose if I want to print any data, we want to show any result, ultimately I need to write this statement. So what is this statement will speak? But anyway, system.out.println I'm saying. Then, so how to access this age variable? Can you say? Yeah. So if I say something like this, p dot age, will I get any value? I mean, will it reference? Will it give any reference? Yes, right. Because p is pointing toward the object. When I say this p dot age, ultimately I'll get some value, right? Let me show you. System.out.println. statement we use to print some data in the console. About that we'll speak later. I'm saying p dot age. So what will happen? So I'm saying that I want age value. So when I call this, I will get the age value. So what is the age? What value I gave to age? Nothing, right? I didn't give anything. So by default it is taking 0. Let me check it whether it is 0 or not. See, I got 0 in the console. Able to see the result?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, whenever we create an object, memory will be allocated for all the variables. Here I have 3 variables, but I didn't give any value. Suppose if I give age equal to 10, let's see what I will get. I'll get 10. So what will happen? So in this case, instead of 0 over here, it will be 10. So when I don't give any values, in that case, JVM will put the default values, but when I give the values, those values will be stored inside the heap. Clear as of now? So if I want to access the name, then how do I access? Same thing. P dot name, right? Right. P is a local variable which is pointing towards the object, right? That's what, right? That's why I'm able to access with the P. Clear this one. P is in a local variable which is pointing towards the object. So that's why I'm able to access something like this. Okay. P dot height. So if I print all this, see what I will get. So first I'm getting 10 because I gave age as the 10, and then I'm getting null. Right. When I'm accessing name, I'm getting value as the null. I told you, right? String, the default value of string is the null. So that's why we're getting the null default value. And the third one is the p dot height I'm saying. So what I'm getting? 0 again, because that is also an integer, right? So default value is the 0. Suppose if I give some values, then see. So I'll say Pranit. I'll say 6. Sorry. 6, and he age I'll give something like this. 37 something. So if I run it, see age I'm getting 27, name I'm getting as Ipani, and the height I'm getting as 6. So what will happen in this case? So instead of default values, JVM will have the values which we provided. See, everything will speak, just I'm giving that, like what will happen when we create an object. So everything will get to know. Just I've written just running, just it's fine. So then here I'll write the 6 or whatever it may be. So these values I will get it, right? So same thing I was saying about the blueprint, same thing happening. Suppose based on one blueprint I can build any number of houses, right? Clear? So based on the blueprint, I can build any number of houses. In the same way, for single class, I can build any number of objects. I can write something like this. Already P is there, so I'm writing P2. So when I say again, person P2 is equal to new person, here P2 is another variable. So what will happen is, another object will be created. Another object will be created. And again, what will happen? Local variable would be there, and that will be point towards this, and this would be P2, right? I gave P2 right over here. The local variable is the P2 which is pointing to the object. So I can create for one single class, I can create any number of objects. Clear? So this is the another object. I can say object to something. So again in this also I would have all the variables int age, because for the same class I'm creating, right? String name and the int height. Clear this? So for a single class I can create one more also I can create if I want. P3. I can create any number of objects. So again what will happen? Another object will be created and the local variable will be created inside the stack, and that will be again pointing to that object. So that's what all about. So if I say object, there is some memory. If I say only class, there is no memory. So until unless creating an object for class, there is no memory space will be allocated for the variables. Okay, if I do something like this, if I don't if I don't create any object, there is no memory for these variables. Those will not at all stored, and those we can't access. So ultimately, if I have a class, we should create an object. So both are correlated each other. When I say class, I should know the object. When I'm speaking object, I should have class. That's all about what is an object and what is a class. Clear as of now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's speak. Then, so here I'm writing something, right? What I just see, this is the class name fine. I'm writing open and close braces. That is called the constructor. Let me speak what it is, what it will do. So constructor. But before that, these three are there, right? So this we call as the in Java instance variables. What does it mean? I'll tell you. And just remember these three called as the instance variables. Later that every person will do some actions, right? Any action. You can walk, you can sleep, anything, right? So those actions I can represent with the methods. So what is the method? I'll speak. So I'm writing a method. Try to understand. Public. So what is the void? We'll speak later. Void. I'll write working. Okay. I'm saying that public void working, and I'm also saying that public void sleeping. So these are the actions. So inside this, I'll print something. Sorry, working. So don't worry about this. How I'm printing system.out.println. I'll explain you everything in that. So just understand now we are speaking about the method. What is a method? How to access them. So I've written method. Two methods I have written. This is called the methods in Java. Sorry. Yeah. I have written two methods. One is the working method and the one is the sleeping method. So I can write some logic inside the methods. But how to access these methods? Let's speak. So how to access? Can you say? Same thing. How we are accessing variables in the same way. See, I'm writing p dot working. Right, because see where the working method is present inside the Python class, right? So I have created an object with the Python class. So with the local variable and which is pointing to the object, right? So I can call the working method, right? I can also call the p dot sleeping. So when I call working, what will happen? The control will go to this method. So inside method it will execute this logic. What logic I have written? Simply I am writing working. In this, when I get called sleeping, it will print sleeping. Let's see. So I'm going here. I'm right click over there. Run Java application. See here. Is able to see? These are the variables, and then I'm getting this working and sleeping. Getting me? Simple. So these called as the methods. So if you want to access the methods also, ultimately we need an object. So to access the variables, to access the methods, we need an object. So your P is called as the local variable. I was saying that ultimately I can say P is an object. I mean reference variable, not a local variable. Here P is reference variable. That's what, right? Sorry. P is referring this object, right? Yeah. P is a reference variable I'm saying. How? Because this P is pointing towards the object. So which is something different, right? Which is referring some object. So that's why we call as the P is a reference variable. Clear? So with this reference variable, I can access all the variables and all the methods of Python class. Okay, I can create any number of objects. So I'm creating again one more P2, and with this object also I can call the working method. So see here, working, or else I can also call p dot sleeping, because I have created object for the same class, right, person class. So that's why again I'm able to access. So if I run it, you will see double times that, or else see here, run, go right click over there, run as a Java application. But everything I will teach you later. Just try to understand what is the class and what is happening there. See here, I'm getting working and sleeping double times, right? See here, I'm with the p object I'm calling, with the p2 also I'm calling. Clear? Any doubts in this? No. So let's see. So in Java, we have, before constructor, we need to speak about the variables. So what is a variable? Can you say anything about? Variable is something which is holding some value, right? So I'm saying that int age is age. So what that will, which is holding some value, right? Int age 10. So variable is for holding some value, right? Then see. So in Java we have three types of variables. Okay. See, in Java we have three types of variables. One is the instance variables, and second one is the local variables, and the third one is the static variables. So we'll speak everything. Just remember these names. So variable is nothing but which is holding some value. In Java we have three types of variables. One is the instance variables, and second one is the local variables, and third one is the static variables. Let's speak. So I was saying that these three called as the instance variables. So what does it mean? What is instance? You can ask me. Instance in the sense instantiation. Okay, what is instantiation generally? Instantiation in the sense allocating some memory. Technically, if I speak, instantiation in the sense allocating some memory. Right? I'll write here. Can I say something like this? Object. Understand the sentence. Object is a instance of class. Did you understand the statement? I'm saying object is a instance of class. What does it mean? I told you instance in the sense allocating some memory. Right? Now see it now put here instead of instance. If I put allocating memory, is that correct? So when I'm creating an object to a class is going to have some memory, right? Getting me? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying that object is an instance of class. What does it mean in the sense? You know, like when I create an object, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, just a second. Hello? Yeah, just a second. My headset's giving some problem. Yeah. Let's move. So what I was saying is object is an instance of class. I'm saying that. So whenever I create an object, the class variable is going to get some memory, right? And so that's what instance means. So instance in the sense initializing, in the sense giving some memory, right? So with the object, I'm able to access these variables, right? Age, name, height, right? So object is nothing but an instance, right, and which is going to allocate some memory. So the variables which I am able to access through the object, I can say those variables as the instance variables. Understand carefully. I am saying that instance variables are something which can access through the object. So see here, I am saying age, name, height. These three are the instance variables. That's what I am able to access with the object. Right. So these three called as the instance variables, and these three variables I can access or else I can call through the object. So instance variables can be accessed through the object. Then what is the local variables? Suppose if I write something like this here, int anything. Here also I take some other name. Okay. Int sorry, I'll write string better. String color. So when I say something like this, so again this is also one variable declaration, right? So but can I access this through the object? Can you say? You got my question? Hello? You got my question? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, yes. So what I was saying is, can I access this variable through the object? What do you say? So I can't access this variable because this is not an instance variable. This is a local variable, local to this method, right? I have written inside the method. So I said walking is a method. I have opened braces and I have closed braces. So inside that I have declared a variable, right? This is called the local variable. In the sense local to this particular method, right? So this is called the local variable. Clear this? So see here, if I write p dot color, so it will show me error. P dot, see it is throwing an error. See what it is saying. So create a variable it is asking. So it is not reading that. So local variable is local to the particular method, and those local variables I can't access through the object. Only I can access the instance variables. So another one we have the static variables. So that we'll speak later. But these two are clear, right? What is the instance variable and what is the local variable? Yes. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes, hello?
Yeah. Is it clear? What is the local variable and what is the instance variable?
Yes.
So instance variable is a variable which I can access through the object, and local variable is a local to a particular method, and that I can't access through the object. That's so. What this static will speak later. Before that, we need to discuss few more things. Okay, let's see. So now clear the concept. Let's see. So this is the main part. When I speak about the object, you should know about this. This right side part. See, I'm writing person. I'm writing close and open and close brace. What does it mean? This is called the constructor I said already. So what it is doing? What it is doing? Let's see. I'm removing this all things. So before that, so with the same name, I'll write one thing here. I'll write here. Try to understand what I'm writing. I'm writing public person. So See here, I write whatever I have written here, same person, open close brace, have written over here, and I've written open close braces. And here I'll write system.out.println of person object created. Okay, I've written something like this. So I'll run this class. See here, person object is created. I'm getting. Did I call that one? See here, I was calling p dot walking, p dot sleeping. These two methods. See, person also a method, right here. Person is a method. See here, walking is a method, sleeping is a method. In the same way, person also a method. But see here, I'm calling walking method, I'm calling sleeping method explicitly with the object. But I'm not calling person, right? Just I've written here, but I'm not calling, right? P dot person I'm not calling. But it is executing, right? This I'm able to see in the, one second. This I'm able to see in the console, right? See here, if I run it again. See here, person object is created. Who is calling that? JVM will call that, or Java compiler will call that. So we need a constructor. So let's speak about what is a constructor, what it will do. So what is I'm saying that person is a constructor. This is not a method. This is a constructor. So what is the difference between the constructor and the method? See, both are looking same. Where is the difference? You can ask me. See here. So this is a method. So method has some type, right? Here I have written void. Here I have written void. But here I didn't write anything. Right? Suppose if I write something here like void or int or anything, then now this is not a constructor. This is again a method. See here, I will not get this in the console. See, I'm not getting that. So Java compiler is treating this as a method when I write some return type to the method. So now it is a constructor. So Java compiler treat as a constructor. So remember, constructor doesn't have any return value. See, this is called the return values. So return means this method is not returning anything. I mean not giving back anything. Suppose if I write int, suppose just assume that if I write int over here, so in the method I should return some integer 1 suppose. So int means, so what does it mean? When I call walking method, that method will return some integer value. Here it is returning 1. But when I say void, so which is not going to return anything, that is called the return type. It will give back some result. Suppose see here. So when I call walking method, so here I am calling walking, right? So this walking method is returning some value. See, system.out.println. So I'm calling p.walking and I'm printing it. Let's see. See here, walking I'm getting, 1 also I'm getting, right? Try to understand. So what I did is, for the walking method, same logic is there. This will be come on the console, and also I'm returning some value. Here I'm returning integer. That's why here I should write return 1. So that one I'm getting over here, right? P.walking. When I call P.walking, which is giving 1, number 1, it is giving, right? So if I want to return string, I should write string, and here I should return some string value. See here, the return type of walking is string, and when I call walking method, what the result I will get? Now what's the result I'll get on the console? Can you say? See here, Pranit I'm getting. You got the return type. What is the return type? Yes, name only. See here. See here. So method is called, and that method is returning some name. That is a Pranit. So that I'm printing over here. Then I'm calling the sleeping method. Clear? Yeah. So every method has some. If I write void, that means which is not returning anything. Okay. So constructor and the method. The difference is constructor doesn't have any return type. Even void also we should not write. The difference between the method and the constructor is method have a return type, but constructor doesn't have any return type. Here I am not writing anything. Just public I am writing, then the constructor name. First let's speak about the rules to create a constructor. First rule is constructor does not have return type. Clear this. Next rule is class name and constructor name should be, can you say, should be same. See here, what is my class name? Person name. What is my constructor name? Person. Right. So both should be same. Getting me? So to create a constructor, there are two rules. One is the constructor should not have the any return type, and constructor name and the class name should be same. Now let's speak. You can ask me why we need constructor. What it is doing really, right? You can ask me something like that. What constructor is doing? I can say constructor is responsible for the initializing the values. I can say giving values to the variables. See here I have written. So before I didn't write any constructor, even though JVM has written this constructor for us. Java compiler is writing this. Right. So now I have written the constructor. Suppose if I execute, I am getting some result, right? So this constructor I didn't write, even though Java compiler will write that one. Okay. So the duty of constructor is to initialize the values. So I'm saying that when I create an object, all values will get memory and it will get some values I'm saying. See here in this diagram what I was saying. When I say new object, in that case, object will be created and all variables will get some values I'm saying. How it is happening? Because of the constructor. So constructor will initialize the values to the instance variables. Okay. Constructor will initialize the values to the instance variables. That's all about the constructor. Okay. So I'm writing constructor. Sorry. Yeah. So I have a constructor, person constructor. Okay. Let's write one more thing. So for the method or for the constructor or any method, I can also pass some variables. See what I'll do is I'll call walking method now. Here I'm saying, try to understand, string name. See what does it mean? See, when I calling walking method, I should pass some string. Okay, I should pass some name. So then what I'll do is I will print this name. So the name whatever I pass, that will come on the console. Let's see, try to understand. So I'm calling Praneet now. It is throwing an error because I need to pass some name here. So here I'm passing Praneet here. Sorry. So I'm calling walking method by passing some name. What will happen? This method get invoked and it will read the Praneet and it will print. Let's see. Here Praneet is walking, I'm getting, right? Hello? Yeah, Praneet is walking, I'm getting, right? So see, as of now, method have a return type and method can return some value and also method can take some value. I mean, we can pass some values to the method. See here, your walking method is taking some value. What is the value? Any string. So that's what I'm passing, some name. I can pass any string. What is the string will speak. So if I give anything inside the double quotes, that is called a string in Java generally. String in the sense, if I give anything in double quotes, then we can call that as a string. So I can pass anything here. See here, I'll pass some dummy data, the walking method, then I'll see in the console. Something, this is walking. Clear? So understand this, a method, I'm saying this is the walking is a method. A method can have a return type, and method also can take some input parameters or else some input values, or else I can say I can pass some values to the method. Clear? So I can pass some values to the method. So that's what I'm passing here. Name I'm passing. But see here, what is the difference between this name and this name? Can you say? Hello?
Yeah.
I told you, right? This name is an instance variable. So this I can access directly with the object, and this is the I'm giving inside the method, right? So this is the local variable to walking method. This is the local variable. So I can't access this, right, to the object. It's a local variable, and this is an instance variable. Clear?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are discussing about the constructor. So you know about constructor, what it will do really. So constructor is responsible for initialize some values. So again, in constructor we have types. What are the types of constructors? So one is the default constructor. See here, I have a constructor, right? This. What is the default constructor? If any constructor not without, if not taking any parameters, I can say as the default constructor, which is not taking any parameters, right? So I'll write one more thing. Some int x. So this is also constructor, right? See, this name and class name is same, and this is also not returning anything. So these two are the constructors, but what is the difference? This is taking some input values. Okay, so this call as the parameterized constructor. Parameterized. Clear. So we have two types of constructor. One is the default constructor, which is not taking any input values, or it is not taking any params, something like this in our case. So parameterized constructor is something which can take some values. I can pass anything. Clear? You got the difference? What is the default constructor and what is the parameterized constructor?
I'm still a little confused about that.
About constructor?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I don't give this, see here, don't get confused, just I'll explain again. See here, when I declare this instance variables, when I call with the object, what I'm getting? I'm getting some default values, right? See here, 0, null and 0. These three are the default values. I didn't give, but I'm getting, right? Who will give these values? See here, I said that we have age, name and height. A person have these three things, and I've created an object. I created an object over here. I'm accessing those three instance variables. So when I call this three, I'm getting some default values. So who will write those default values? Default constructor. So default constructor responsibility is to write default values to the instance variables. right? See, the main difference between a method and constructor is method is not going to do anything for us. We'll write our own logic and we'll execute it. That's it. The constructor, which is called by the Java compiler, we will not call externally. See here the difference. See, these two are the methods. I am calling within object, but constructor is something which is useful to create an object. The difference, you got it, right? Method is something which has some logic. I can call that method with an object. But constructor is not like that. Constructor is useful to create an object. So here the person, here I am saying person. What it is? It is a default constructor. I am not passing anything, right? So it is a default constructor. So what default constructor will do? The responsibility of default constructor is to put the default values to the instance variables. Getting me, or shall I repeat it?
I think I get it.
Yeah. Because see here, so this method I am calling with an object, but constructor I am using along with the new operator, right? So I told you when I say new, object will be created. After that I should write the constructor. So constructor is we should use along with the new operator. Clear? Yeah. Let's move. So I'm saying that this is a default constructor. So what is the duty of default constructor? What it will do? It will initialize some default values. Right. See here. Try to understand. This is very important. See here. When I say public person, I'm getting some data, right? But here I didn't initialize these three variables. I'm getting some values, default values I'm getting. So those default values initialized by the default constructor. Okay, but I don't want that. I want to give my own values. Suppose if I give here, suppose if I give int age 10 or name Praneeth or height something, if I give, and these three will be same for all the objects, right? For all the objects, those three values would be same. Let me clear that one. I'm saying Praneeth. Okay. Clear, understand clearly. This is very important. So I'm saying 6. So here what I'll do is I'll do copy everything, or else I'll copy these three. I'm creating one more object. See now for the person P, what would be the values? These three, right? 10, Praneeth and 6. And person P2. For this, what would be the values? Same, right? Getting me?
Yeah.
If I give values over here, and this value should be common to the all the objects. See here, if I run this, see here, same values I am getting, right? Again, person again person object is created, and again I am getting values, same values here and here, right? But I don't want that. It is very static, right? If I create 100 objects, I'll get same output. But it should not be something like that. I need something where I can pass dynamic values. So that case we use parameterized constructor. See, when I say default constructor, so this is all about. So we should not give values over here. Remember, just we need to declare. That's it. We should not give the values, because if I give over here, those will be common for all the objects. So we should not give here. That is the one rule. So next thing. So if I run now, what I will get? See, I'm getting default values here and here. I don't want these also. I want to give my own values. So how to do that? Let's see. So if we want to give some dynamic values to the object, so we go for the parameterized constructor. Now see what I'll do. I'm going to write a parameterized constructor here. So for this I'll pass three things: int a, string, n and int h. So is this parameterized constructor? Yes or no? Yes, because see here, this is a constructor and this is a constructor. So how I'm saying constructor? See, this doesn't have any return type over here, and this also doesn't have any return type. One thing. And second rule is I told you already. What is second rule? Class name and constructor name should be same. What is my class name? Person, right? And the constructor name is person, and this is also person. So these two are the constructor, and this is the default constructor because here which is not taking any params. But this is a parameterized constructor which is taking three variables. One is the int, string, and the int. Clear? The difference. Try to understand difference between this and this. You got the difference? I'll go ahead if you say okay.
Yeah.
So it's a default constructor and this is a parameterized constructor. These are called the parameters, I can say. First parameter, second parameter, and third parameter. So that's why it's called as the parameterized constructor. So I should pass these three. So I'll do one thing here. So here I'll pass age as the 25, name as the Praneeth. Here I'll pass height as the 6. See here. Now I'm creating an object with the help of parameterized constructor. Okay. Here I'll pass 26. And I'll pass some name, D something. Then I'll pass height as 7. Okay. This statement clear? Important.
Yeah.
So here I'm creating an object with the help of parameterized constructor. I have declared here. See, person which is taking integer, string, and integer. See here, I'm calling person which is taking integer, string, and integer. Clear? So let's see. So I've created an object now. Now these all will get some memory. But when I say p.h, hello?
Yeah.
So these three called as the local, right? Local variables. These three. These three are the local variables. But I should give these values to the instance variables, right? See, I'll write three lines. Try to understand this. Age is equal to A. Name is equal to N. H E. Yes. Understand these three statements. I'm saying that age, instance variable age is equal to this, and name, instance variable name is equal to this N, and height, this height is equal to local variable H. Got it? See here, what I'm doing is, see when I pass these three variables to the constructor, I can't access the three variables, right? I can access only these three variables through the object. So these three I can't access. So because of that, I am assigning local variable values to the instance variables. So getting me? Shall I repeat? Hello?
Yeah.
You want me to repeat? You got it this. Don't get confused. Yes. So simply local variable values I am assigning to the instance variables. See here. If I run it. See 25 Praneeth 6 I am getting here. 26 Reddy 7 I am getting. Different values I am getting, right? Clear? Let me summarize. So three things you should remember. Difference between the constructor and the method. One thing. And then difference between the default constructor and parameterized constructor. And third one is what is the use of default constructor and what is the use of parameterized constructor. Let me clear again. The first thing is difference. Difference between a common method and a constructor is, see, sleeping and walking. These two are the common methods, and these methods I can access through the object. That's it. But constructors are those something which I can use while creating the object. This statement clear? So difference between the method and constructor, very important. Yes. And then rules to create a constructor. Constructor should not have any return type, and class name, this is the class name, right, person, and the constructor name should be same. Rules I've written here. Does not have any return type, class name and constructor name should be same. Second rule, that is. Okay. So let's discuss about the difference between the parameter constructor and default constructor. So default constructor in the sense which is not taking any parameters. Parameterized constructor is something which is taking some parameters. Okay. But what is the use of default constructor is, suppose if I call, I'm not passing anything here, see, you will understand. So this is here person P object I'm creating with the help of default constructor, and P2 object I'm creating with the help of parameterized constructor. So now see, you will understand. See here, when I create an object with the help of default constructor, I will get the default values. But when I create an object with the parameterized constructor, I can get the dynamic values. Clear the statement? Are you good?
Yeah.
So the main difference. See here, default constructor and parameterized constructor. So that's all about the difference. Okay, and let me summarize all the things. And also we spoke about the different types of variables. So what is a variable? Which is holding some value generally. So in Java we have three variables: instance variables, local variables, and static variables. And instance variables are those which I can access through the object, and local variables are local to a method, and I can't access local variables through the method, sorry, through the object. And about static variables, mostly we'll speak in next class. And now let me give the definition of a class. What is a class in Java? Class is combination of instance variables and the methods. This is the definition. Class is a combination of instance variables and methods. Okay. Then what is the definition of object? Object is a instance of class. What is instance? I told you, instance in the sense instantiation. I mean allocating some memory for the instance variables. So that's what. When I say object, I should know about the instance. Clear? Class is a combination of instance variables. Local variables also there, right? So I can write something. Instance variables, set instance variables plus local variables is equals, I can call as the data members. It's a name, that's it. So I can say class as a class is a combination of data members and the methods. Why I'm using data members? Because class will have the instance variables and local variables also, right? So by combining them, we can say in technology side data members. So class is a combination of data members and the methods, and the object is an instance of a class. So we talk about what is an object and what is a class, what is happening when we create an object, and how to create an object, and what is a constructor, and what are the different types of constructors. And there are a lot of things, and we'll speak one by one. Sure, I'll close the class and see here this what is this public and what is this, these all the things we'll discuss. So just I concentrated today basic things like what is a class and how to create an object. So what is happening internally when we create an object. So those stuff we spoke. So in this class, one by one, I'll introduce everything. They're printing something in the console and how it is coming, and I'm saying that. So its method should be public static void main, and all this stuff we'll speak in next class. So I'm going to end the class. Okay. Okay, Daniel.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, clear, right, everything. So if you have any confusions or anything, you just ask me in next session. We'll speak. Okay, it's a best first class, right? May you feel a bit confused, but after 2 or 3 classes, you'll be fine.
Okay.
Okay. Chalo. Chalo then. Sure. We'll meet tomorrow. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.